All right, let's talk about a question that I'm willing to bet every single dog owner on the planet has asked themselves at some point. You know the look, the intense stare that just screams, "I'm starving." So why is your dog always hungry?
I mean, does this sound familiar to you? You've just filled their bowl, they've absolutely inhaled it in 10 seconds flat, and then, not even 5 minutes later, who's back at your feet? Yep, giving you those big, soulful puppy dog eyes, acting like they haven't seen a single kibble in a decade. Okay, so here's our game plan for today. We're going to dig into the whole bottomless pit thing. We'll talk genetics versus just plain old greed, and we'll even unleash your dog's inner wolf. Then, we'll look at how we might be feeding the habit, and, this is a super important one, when that hunger could actually be a sign of something more serious. We'll wrap up by talking about how to listen with your eyes. Sound good? Let's do it.
So first up, let's tackle what we all call the bottomless pit problem. And yeah, it's funny, we joke about it, but it's really so much more than just a cute quirk. It's actually a window into how your dog's brain is wired.
Now, what's our first assumption? We see them begging for a piece of our pizza crust, and we think, ugh, he's just being so greedy, right? But is that really all there is to it? I think you'll find there's something way more fascinating going on under the surface.
Yeah, it's so easy to just write it off as greed or maybe forgetfulness or even just bad manners. But the real story, it's this incredible mix of a few different things. We're talking deep-seated instincts, learned behaviors that, spoiler alert, we might have accidentally taught them, and sometimes really, really important health signals.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. We need to talk about your dog's inner wolf. Because to really get a handle on their appetite, you've got to go way, way back to their ancestors. This is the root of it all. And the key concept to unlock all of this is the idea of an opportunistic scavenger. Now, this has nothing to do with greed. It is a 100% hardwired survival strategy. Think about it. For their wild ancestors, the next meal was never, ever guaranteed. So the rule of evolution was brutally simple. If you find food, you eat it. You eat all of it, right now, no questions asked, because who knows when you'll find more.
Believe it or not, that ancient software is still running on your dog's modern hardware. They are still operating with that feast or famine mindset, even though dinner shows up like clockwork every day. They are literally programmed to eat the second food appears. And that's why they eat so fast. It's an old habit from competing with the rest of the pack. And that little piece of bacon you accidentally dropped on the floor? To you, it's a scrap. To them, it's a high-value, rare prize that has to be secured immediately. But, instinct is only part of the equation. Now we have to turn the spotlight on ourselves. It's time to look in the mirror and ask that tough question. How are we feeding this habit?
Well, it usually boils down to this incredibly simple but super powerful cycle of reinforcement. It all starts with the puppy eyes. We've all seen them. We cave, right? We give them a little treat or a scrap from our plate. And in that exact moment, their brain gets this little hit of dopamine, the feel-good chemical, that basically screams, "Yes, that totally worked!" And boom, just like that, the behavior is locked in. It's now a proven strategy that they are absolutely going to repeat.
And wow, we do this in so many ways without even realizing it. Get this, a massive 45% of this accidental training comes from table scraps alone. Another 30%, that's from those just because you're cute treats. And it doesn't stop there. Letting them lick our plates clean or even just giving them attention when they start begging, it all reinforces the behavior. The crazy part is we are unintentionally training the exact habit we complain about.
Okay, now we need to shift gears and talk about something incredibly important. Because look, an increased appetite isn't always about instinct or learned behavior. Sometimes it's a medical red flag that you absolutely need to pay attention to.
And let me be absolutely crystal clear about this. What we're about to talk about is for awareness only. This is not for diagnosis. If you have any real concerns about your dog's health, your first call, your only call, should be to your veterinarian. Please always consult a professional. Okay, with that very important disclaimer out of the way, a sudden and seemingly bottomless appetite, there's actually a medical term for it, polyphagia, can definitely be a symptom of something else. It could be something as straightforward as a nutritional deficiency in their diet, but it can also be a sign of bigger things, like hormonal imbalances, Cushing's disease is an example, or diabetes, or even internal parasites. And hey, don't forget that certain medications, especially steroids, can crank up their hunger to 11.
Okay. We've talked about instinct, we've talked about our own habits, and we've touched on the scary medical stuff. So what do you do with all this information?
Well, it's all about learning to listen with your eyes. It's about becoming a better observer of what's really going on with your dog.
So here are the key things you need to be watching for. The number one thing is any sudden, really dramatic change in their appetite. That's a big one. But you also need to look for other symptoms that might go with it. Like, are they suddenly drinking a ton more water or needing to pee all the time? What about their weight? Are they gaining or, weirdly, losing weight even though they're eating more? Pay attention to big shifts in their energy levels or if their coat and skin look different. These are the clues your vet is going to ask about.
And all of this really brings us to what I think is the most important takeaway. It's a total shift in perspective. Instead of just seeing those begging eyes as a demand for food, try to think of it like this. Your dog's appetite is a conversation. It really is. It's this constant stream of information telling you about their ancient past, their relationship with you, and of course, their current health.
So the next time those big, beautiful eyes are staring up at you while you're trying to eat your dinner, just pause for a second. Instead of just seeing a furry little beggar, ask yourself the one question that truly matters. What is my dog really trying to tell me?